In our last episode, we talked a little bit about the Illinois legislature and in their, their infinite process of how they're doing things. They basically used the legal process and they subverted it to pass some gun legislation quickly. And there was a part of a legislation that was in the Senate, and it was, well, actually, let me pull up some details here.
This was the one with the slide. They started it out with slide safety and
right.
metro parks. And all
yep.
right, go ahead.
Yeah, there was, let's see, it was Illinois Senate passed Senate Bill 2226, which the actual description of that is the amusement ride safety. And it was supposed to be about when is a slide an amusement attraction as opposed to like a piece of playground equipment. And it had went through the whole legislative process, which takes some time. So they were at the final stage of being able to then vote that law. And like I said before, I'm pretty sure they just kind of shelved this law to keep it in, in case an opportunity came along. And so what they did is they stripped out all of the verbiage of the law and they replaced it with a whole bunch of gun control legislation, banning AR-15s, but there's a whole huge list of firearms that are banned. High-capacity magazines, just, basically their entire wish list. They just stuck it in there. So, and we, made the comment, it's like, well, okay, they passed it, and they're going to send it to the House, and it'll probably pass. Well, before we could even get our video posted, lo and behold, the House of Representatives, they passed House Bill 5471, the Insurance Code for Public Adjusters. So these are people that go out and when there's an insurance claim, they review it and evaluate it and stuff like that. And there's some legislation around that to make sure you're doing a good job. But the important thing is, well, that law had already went through the entire process. It was waiting for the final vote. So as part of the actual concurrence process, they basically took all the language for their great gun control wish list. They took all the language out of the insurance code public adjusters, and they replaced it with all the gun control legislation. It went onto the floor for a final vote. Lo and behold, it passed. And then they immediately went to the governor, and it was signed into law, effective January 10th.
Miss Lori, what's her name? Lori Lightfoot? Admiral, is that who the governor is?
Well, she's the mayor.
Mayor. She's mayor. Okay.
Yeah, no, the governor is Governor Pritzker.
Okay.
We'll have a separate conversation about him at some point.
No, hey, I can sum this whole thing up, this Chicago, Illinois, the whole state. If you are watching this video, get out. There is nothing good that is going to come from this. Chicago already has a gang violence, death, homicide rate that beat Baghdad in the middle of the Iraqi war. So if you haven't got out yet and you're still breathing and you don't have bullet holes riddled through you, Swiss cheese, get the heck out of that state. It's almost too late. So we called it. You called it. You said this is a sure thing to go through, and before we even posted the video,
Yep. Well, even I was kind of stunned how fast that they worked. Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, you get these politicians, it takes them, 2 years to discuss ride safety, but boy, they can pass gun legislation in 3 days.
Wow.
So it went from January 6th, where they replaced the language in the slide bill, to January 10th, where they replaced the language in the insurance adjusters bill. In the concurrence process, this is where they mesh them all together, and it's all voted and passed. And just so you know, let's see, the list of weapons banned with the new bill include semi-automatic rifles that have the capacity to accept a detachable magazine. Okay, that'd be all of them. If the firearm has one or more pistol grip, thumb hole stock, any feature functioning as a protruding grip that can be held by a non-trigger hand, I guess that's the brace that goes up. Folding, telescoping, thumb hole or detachable stock, flash suppressor, grenade launcher, a shroud that attaches to the barrel to allow someone to hold it with their non-trigger hand without being burned.
These idiots have no idea what they're talking about.
No.
They have no idea what they're talking about.
And it just goes on and on and on, this list. And then they have the actual list, just to make sure that there's no confusion. There's a whole list here. I don't know how many are on here. There's
Holy
100.
smokes.
You know, but you know, you've got
Specifics.
these are specific firearms banned by name. So you've got basically all the AK platform. You know, you got the AK, AK-47, AK-74, AKM, AKS, SA-85, SA-93. You know, just basically any name that they go by. All the AR platform stuff, and then of course to make sure there's no confusion, you know, they go into specifics, details, you know, to help us out. You got the Bushmaster ACR, the Carbon 15,
This
the
is
MOE
all
series.
listed in the actual legislation.
This is all listed in actual legislation.
It
the
is.
Olympic arms, precision firearms, you know, all this kind of stuff. It's just insane. And you know, there's just no reason for it, except there again, the anti-gunners were able to get their little victory. And honestly, I don't know why anyone lives in Illinois.
Well,
The taxes are high. The crime is horrible, at least in the cities. I mean, there's some parts of Illinois that's not bad.
You keep electing these politicians that legislate based on emotion.
Yes.
Somebody gets shot up tragically. It's tragically, and all of a sudden you have all this push for we got to do something.
Yep.
We got to do something.
If it can only save one life.
Yep. Yep.
And yet, people that own these firearms, they save lives all the time by having them.
Yep.
Now,
But
you don't ever hear about that, but
But they like to say they follow science, but obviously that kind of data doesn't resonate with them. So.
yeah. I hope you've enjoyed this clip from the Craig's Gun Channel Random Shots program. The program airs Thursdays at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. On Random Shots, we discuss content from ranging anything from preparedness, survival, politics, firearms, basically anything that's 2A related, with sometimes some rabbit trails on things that aren't related at all. If you enjoy this type of programming, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you're notified when we release new content. And if you like it, hit the like button and share us if you would as well. It helps the algorithm and helps the channel grow and helps get our message out. So until next time, stay safe.